Yesterday was the first day of my 40th year of teaching. And I have a lot of sadness because I don't get many more first days. I teach in a diverse school, and when my students walk in, they see an old white guy. And right now, being an old white guy is not the best thing to be right now. There's a lot of stupid white guys out there. So they sit down and they're goofing around, and I say, hey, listen, and this is the first thing they hear in my math class. I'd like to tell you guys a little bit about myself, and I hope you're ready. I say, by the time I was in high school, my mom was on her 5th marriage. My mom's second husband physically abused me. My therapist tells me that's why when I get in confrontations, I can't think clearly and I can't talk. I can't even breathe sometimes because that part of my brain that's fight or flight just goes to flight. My mom's next husband didn't hurt me, but I watched him hurt her. I remember having to cover my little brother and sister's eyes to keep them from seeing certain things. The next one was the worst. There was a point where I thought he was going to kill me. And in that moment when he saw tears coming out of my eyes, he went from total rage to telling me, oh, I love you so much. And I wish you could see the faces of my students at this point and how many of them are registering recognition. And I say, well, the next one graduated from Stanford. I don't know where my mom found this guy. He was a lawyer. And I'm not kidding you. It was March of my senior year. And he says, have you considered going to college? And I said, no. And he said, well, I think you should. And that's all the nudge I needed. 5 months later, I was in college. And I was calling him every day, like, how do you set up a bank account? How do you deal with confrontation? I was running away from every confrontation. And when people told me they loved me, I was running away from that too because I thought it was a lie. Well, just so you know, 7 years ago, that guy adopted me. And my students don't believe that. They think you can't get adopted when you're this old. I tell them, it's cool, man. You get a new name on the birth certificate. It's like a totally new birth certificate. And then I said, so I got into college and I decided to be a teacher. And first 5 years of teaching were the worst. I was back and forth. I'm going to quit. I'm going to do it. I'm going to quit. And then this kid brought a gun to school to shoot me. And I said, that was it. I went out. I'm running. Until my head cooled down and I thought, damn it, I'm not going to let some kid scare me away from teaching. And at that point, my mom had been killed in a car accident. And we got some money, my brother and sister and I. And my brother and sister, it took them 1 year to use it on drugs. My sister got sucked into meth. There was a drug bust at her funeral service. And I took my money and I went to Harvard. My friends had said, McNeil, you got to apply. And I said, there's no way. I can't get into Harvard. And they said, you got to apply. And I guess that was the nudge I needed. And when that kid brought the gun to school, I decided I'm not just all in. I want to be the best that I can be. So I applied. And Harvard said, why do you want to be here? And I said, because I told them this story, because I'm not going to let a kid scare me away from teaching, and I want to be the best that I can be. And they accepted me. And I walked into Harvard, Graduate School of Education, first day of school, and I'm looking around the room, and I thought, oh my God, there's been a mistake. These people look so smart. I'm not kidding. I thought any second someone's going to walk up and go, are you McNeil? Could you come with us? We got the paperwork wrong. And the dean gets up to the microphone and says, welcome to the Harvard Graduate School of Education. And no, there's been no mistake. You are all meant to be here. And I started laughing, and I went, oh my gosh, these people are so smart. They read my mind. They knew exactly what I was thinking. But I looked around the room, and everybody was laughing because everybody in that room was thinking the same thing I was, that I am not good enough to do this. And that's when I stop and I tell my students, when you walked in this room, I hope you know somebody different now that you've met me. But I want you to know this. I know all of you. I know that you are your own worst enemies. I know some of you are dealing with some darkness, maybe depression, self-harm. You might be living with addiction, or you may have addiction issues. You may be dealing with someone who's abusing you or somebody you love. You may have just walked out of the door and heard somebody call you stupid on the way out of the house. But I want you to know that I have been given this gift to spend this next year with you. And I want this room to be a safe space for you to be who you are, and for us to be able to take a chance and risk our confidence to learn and to grow in that confidence. I want you to know you are welcome to my class and welcome back to school.